Okay, welcome. I am trying out a new mic today, so let me know in the comments if you can hear me clearly, if you feel like it's different than previous recordings. I'm trying to find a nice balance of making sure we're getting information across and you guys can hear me and see me okay. So, welcome. Thank you for joining me today. I wanted to take today to talk about the spine a little bit, and I wanted to talk about and demonstrate and go through some poses so that we are getting full range of motion in all directions for our spine. And so a healthy spine can move in 6 different ways. So we have flexion, extension, side stretch one way, side stretch the other or lateral, and then rotation to the right and to the left. And so every day we really should be moving our spine in all of those different directions to make sure that we are nourishing those joints and allowing the muscles around them to stay nice and healthy. So we're going to focus on that, just do a couple of poses today and just kind of explore how that feels in our spine. So to begin, find a comfortable seat, whatever that means for you, whatever is accessible in your body today. It can be sitting in a chair, it can be sitting on the floor, whatever fits your needs for today. So find that comfortable seat. Allow your spine to be long. So the spine, I think of the spine as all the way from your sits bones, like those 2 bony pieces underneath your glutes. If you are perching or kind of like right on the edge of a chair, you can kind of feel them a little bit. So those are your sits bones, ischial tuberosities. From there, I think of your spine really including the hips a little bit and then all the way up to the very back of the skull. So the spine really is this nice long line in the body. And so I want you to take this first few moments and I want you to just feel your hips and give them a little wiggle, just noticing how they are feeling. And then I want you to just imagine this long line all the way up to the very back of your head. And I want you to see if you can just find some length in that spine. And take a deep breath there. Exhale it out. And again, breathe in and out. This is Miss Lydia. She's joining us today. So taking one more deep breath and exhaling out. Good. So we're just going to move through some poses and some movements that are going to nourish the body. Nothing should be painful when we're working through the spine. The spine has little joints called facets where one vertebrae stacks on the other. And then, so we want to make sure that we're not doing anything that's really like jarring for our spine. So we want to move into everything with just a gentle awareness, getting a nice gentle stretch. Nothing needs to be super intense. Okay, so we're going to start with cat-cow, something that we'll do in most yoga classes. We're going to come to tabletop position. So stacking hips over knees, shoulders, elbow, and wrist. If tabletop position is not feasible for your body, you can actually do this same movement in a seated position. So finding that tabletop position. And we're just going to roll through the spine. So just allow your tailbone to lift. So your tailbone is right back here. Your tailbone lifts, your belly hangs down. And I want you to think about your chest moving forward, almost as if it could go through your upper arms. And then lift the chin. And then we're going to reverse that. So tuck the tailbone, curling up, arching your back like a cat and tucking the chin. And we'll do that again. So tailbone lifts, belly hangs. Think about your chest moving forward through those upper shoulders. And then rolling back. And doing that again. Sorry, I lost my mic. Just rolling through the spine. And moving with the breath. So exhaling, allowing the body to curl up. Inhaling, lengthening the front side of the body, chest moving forward. Good. Let's just take 1 or 2 more. Again, so we're doing flexion and extension. So we're moving our spine in 2 really nourishing ways. And for me, in my experience, I really find that this extension is one that we often lack as a society. We do a lot more curling and flexion this direction than we do opening up. So if you were doing this from a seated position, you would just curl back, let your fingertips come forward. And then again, thinking about your chest moving forward, gazing up, lifting the chin. And I say lifting the chin because we don't want to just drop the head back. We don't want to just clunk. We want to think about lifting and lengthening through that front side of the body. Good. Okay, so that was our extension and flexion. So staying in a seated position, again, you can do this in a chair or just sitting on the ground. I want fingertips to be nice and wide if you're sitting on the floor. I want you to inhale the right arm up and exhale, think about up and over. So I don't want to collapse this side body. So I think about up and then a little curve at the top. And then inhale and exhale. We'll do that again. Inhale, lift. Exhale, curve. Inhale, lift. And exhale, down. Let's do it again. Inhale, lift. Exhale, curve. Inhale, lift. And exhale, down. We'll switch sides. This time the left arm lifts. Exhale, reach up and over. Again, I'm not collapsing that side. I want to think about the whole spine being long. Inhale, up. And exhale, down. 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Let's do inhale, both arms up. Interlace the fingers, reach the palms toward the sky. Take it to the right just a little. Think about really rooting down that opposite hip. So I don't want to roll off my hips. I want to sit nice and firmly in those hips. Inhale, lift. Exhale, opposite side. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Draw your belly button in. So engage the core just a little bit as we do this movement. And inhale, up. Exhale, both arms down. Good. Take a couple of shoulder rolls just to make sure that we didn't create any tension in those shoulders with that pose, that movement. Good. We're going to take it a little bit further. So I want you to come up to a kneeling position. And we're going to take our right leg out to the side. So we're just going to extend that side stretch a little bit deeper. If you are in a chair, that would be just fine. You can sit in a chair and just take your leg out to the side still. All right, we're going to inhale the left arm up. Exhale, reach up and over. Again, I'm still thinking about nice long lines through the body. I also don't want to rotate yet. I want to keep my chest facing forward. So I'm opening up this side part of the body. We're going to hold this one for 3 breaths. And as we hold it, don't think about going to the maximum range. We're just finding a gentle stretch. When you start to feel a little stretch, stay there. This is not about as deep as you can go. This is about allowing the spine to have movement in all the directions it can go. And go ahead and release that side. And we'll switch sides. So my right leg's coming down. My left leg is coming out to the side. You can rotate it so toes are pointed up if you like. If it feels more comfortable to kind of have it down, that's fine. You can kind of do what feels comfortable to you. I kind of like somewhere in the middle. We'll inhale the right arm up and then exhale. Again, I'm not collapsing this side. I still think about nice long side body. So my whole body is lifting up as I reach up and over. I like to think of a candy cane. It's like a nice long line and then a little curve at the ends. But I'm breathing into this side body. So I'm finding that length here, but it's giving me and my spine this nice little curve, this nice little space and that lateral stretch. So holding for 1 more breath. And then go ahead and release. Go ahead and come out of that. Take any little movements or wiggles that would feel good to you. Good. So the next thing we're going to do is move into a twist. And so again, you can do this in a chair or just in a simple seated position. Sit up nice and tall. So making sure that you're trying to find those sit bones. I don't want to be back on my tailbone. So if you look at from the side, I want to be sitting up. And so I actually will move my booty out of the way a little bit so that I can sit a little more firmly on that. You can sit on a prop. If you have a blanket or a block, you can sit on that. What I don't want though is for you to be sitting all the way back here because that doesn't give us a good foundation for that twist. So you can also sit in a chair. So sitting up nice and tall. Again, feel the length of your spine from your hips all the way up from the tailbone, all the way up to right at the back of the skull. Good. And so we're just going to start with a really, really gentle rotation. So again, I'm not going to end range. I'm just warming up my spine, letting it know we're going to do a twist. Again, we don't do enough twists. So this is a really, really gentle way just to start to warm that up. Start to gaze over the shoulder in the direction that you're twisting. Good. Let's slow that down. We're going to inhale that right arm up. The right arm is going to come to the opposite knee. So my right hand is on my left knee. My left hand is just going to come behind me to help me sit up nice and tall. So it's just kind of there for a little bit of support. I'm not going to use my arms to twist. That's too much pressure on our spine. So I'm going to sit up nice and tall. Right hand to left knee, left hand behind, deep breath in. And as you exhale, feel your spine grow a little longer and then draw your belly button toward your spine. So think about engaging that cord just a little bit as you gaze over that left shoulder. Now remember, we're not going to use our arms to pull into the twist. The goal is not to pop our back. It's not to get to end range. It's just to find a little rotation. So if I take my arms off, I'm still in that same twist. My hands are just there to support me. Draw your belly button toward your spine, gaze over the left shoulder, take another breath in. And then go ahead and unwind. And I'll take this little bit of just those rotations, those gentle twists. Sometimes I feel stiff after a rotation, so I just like to ease out of that. And then we're going to take it to the other side. So just rotate so you can see me. So inhale the left arm up. Left hand comes to that right knee. Right hand comes behind to sit up nice and tall. Soften those hips a little bit. Make sure we're not gripping. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, feel the spine grow long. Gazing over the right shoulder, drawing your belly button toward your spine. Again, if I take my hands away, I'm still in that same twist. That's a really important piece. I don't want to be pulling with my arms. Holding it here for another breath or two. So breathing into that rotation. Good. Inhale to unwind. And again, just take a few little rotations. Good. We're going to come back and do a couple more cat-cows. So we've done our lateral stretch. We've done a twist. We're just going to come back and do a couple of cat-cows, just rolling through the spine. Good. We are going to do one more twist. So we are going to come down to the ground again, seated position. We're going to take our legs long. So both legs long. My hamstrings are a little tight today, so be easy on them. Put a little bend in the knees. I want you to take the right leg long and bring the left foot in. Okay, this is going to be a little bit different. So right now my hips are square and they're even. I'm going to roll to my right hip, which is the straight leg. And then I'm going to pull my left hip back just a little bit so that I'm a little bit more turned. And then I'm going to take my twist. So my right hand comes to that left knee. Left hand comes behind, sitting up nice and tall. And I'm just gazing over that left shoulder. Now, the reason we're doing that is we're now involving the hips in that rotation. So rather than having that firm foundation of the hips, as we did in the first one, we're inviting the hips into it. So we're going to get a little more rotation. So you may find that you can twist a little bit further. It's just because we've adjusted the hips. So gaze over that left shoulder, take a deep breath. And then go ahead and release. Go ahead and even those hips back up. So just find that nice neutral. Left leg long, right leg bends in a little bit. Rolling to my straight leg, so the left hip, my right hip pulls back a little bit. So now I'm rotating a little bit more. Left hand comes to that knee, right hand comes behind, deep breath, and gazing over that right shoulder. So again, I'm just doing a very gentle twist, not end range. I'm not pulling with my arms. I'm just finding that nice gentle rotation through the body. One more breath. Good, and go ahead and release. Go ahead and come all the way to your back. and just hug knees into chest. You can rock from side to side if that would feel good. One more breath. And then we're going to come all the way up. Find a comfortable seat. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope that you were able to explore the spine a little bit. So again, it can move in 6 different ways. And so we have flexion, extension, lateral right, lateral left, twist right, twist left. So I hope you can take these tools and implement them into your day. Thank you all so much. Namaste.